the Hijab 10 discount code for 10% discount on a wide range of products, including premium Ethiopian black seed products.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you guys doing? I'm joined as the Champ Connection here. How are you doing?
So much. One letter can make such a big difference.
Well, and one mistake can make such a big difference. And today we're going to be talking about the big mistake from Cosmic Coward. Cosmic failure, Cosmic Coward. Call him whatever you want to call him. Actually, to be honest with you, just some time ago, maybe it was before, maybe 2-3 weeks ago, I made a video about him, actually praising some of what he was doing, because he was talking about how voracious, he didn't mention this kind of language, but the contingency argument was, and how he sees it as the absurdity of the infinite regress and whatever. Now, for some strange reason, in fact, that we can both comment on, he's decided to attack the Muslim community again.
Yes.
And before we talk about him attacking the Muslim community, let's really distinguish, because the video that he took down, which he initially had up, was why is Islam so sensitive, or something to that effect, right?
Yes.
Islam here, he's not talking about, if you like, the religion. He is talking about Muslim people, because he actually mentions Muslims and their reactions to certain things, that provocations or whatever it is. This ungrammatical use of the word Islam to refer to Muslim people, this ungrammatical use is a commonplace usage among people on the alt-right, people on even the far right, that try maybe disguise their Islamophobia, disguise their hasty generalizations against Muslim
animosity.
people.
You know, it's like Tommy Robinson. You know, I don't have a problem with the Muslims. This is Islam.
Right. But to be completely honest with you, you mentioned Tommy Robinson, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't as cowardly as this. I mean, he wouldn't put up a video and then put it down and say it's because of safety concerns. You couldn't imagine that.
I mean, that was nonsense, man.
Imagine Tommy Robinson putting a video up and taking it down.
Yeah.
At least he had a degree of being rough and ready, like, you know, he had a certain level of courageousness.
Yeah, and you can say to a certain level, he did.
A certain level of courageousness that this little boy unfortunately does not have.
But they do also have something in common. You know, Tommy Robinson and Katie Hopkins and all these people, they have something in common. They use the fear factor.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he's done. It's very strange, because it's a fallacy of a circular argument, and it's a self-fulfilled prophecy. And I'm not saying he claimed these, or what I'm trying to say is, he puts a video up and he says, why is Islam so sensitive? And, you know, Muslims do all kinds of burn places, bomb places, etc. And then he takes his video down. So it's like, hey guys, I'm proving my own point, but I made the video. It got about 300,000 views. I'll take it down now because I'm under threat. I mean, was he under threat when he made certain statements, which you're going to mention? You know.
Well, actually, you know, this is a good point, because if he was so scared about his safety, why doesn't he take his other video down, which is actually insulting the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
Exactly.
So he mounted, quote, and abused Aisha radiallahu anha. He's still got that one up, so that one's more dangerous. If you're talking about threat levels, I would have thought that one would be the one to take down.
Or even worse, calling Muslim women in bags.
I mean, Somalian women.
A Somalian woman in bags is, especially, you know, I'll be honest with you, got to be careful of the Somalian sisters here, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying, you know, especially if you're saying, you know, they're in bags, Somalian sisters can, you know, give you a little, you know, the point here is this: you was brave then. Yeah, what, have you become a coward now? Is it what, the meat that you're not eating, you're vegan now? Is it has an effect on your testosterone levels? No, is it that? Is it the B12 and the iron deficiency that oxygen doesn't go to your
and bro,
brain?
on this
what is it?
Let's say something, right?
Yeah.
Some Muslims will come and say, why are you treating this guy like this? And it's the same Muslims that they don't mind being slapped up, quite frankly. These guys, and to be honest, that's you guys. This man,
we're talking his language.
Look, this man clearly doesn't mind throwing you and your family and your community under the bus.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, he's done that already. How many videos does he have to make? Not just about Islam and about the Prophet Muhammad, but about you and your community and how you react. He's hastily generalizing 1.8 billion people. You know, speaking about Islam, really intending Muslims, and he mentioned the word Muslims a few times in the video.
No, of course. And the funny thing is his comeback. He makes it very clear, which is very bizarre. He goes, Cosmic is back. Why are you not back with the video attacking Christianity?
Have you got? Is that on Twitter? He said
he
that.
Deleted it.
Oh, he deleted
it on Twitter. It's gone.
What I remember, what you showed me was that he was saying something to the effect of the old Cosmic, and here's one for you guys.
No, that's what I'm trying to say.
What was he saying?
It's like the fans were saying,
can we get exactly what he said?
No,
I've got it here. I've got it here.
If you can get it out, because from what I know, he was basically saying, like, you guys were asking, here's the old Cosmic back, because people are fed up with his vegan videos. So the thing is, if you can find that, it's very,
I got it here. I got it here. He goes, people keep telling me that they miss the old skeptic
Yeah.
Cosmic.
Well, here you go.
Here you go.
I guess.
So it's like he's a slave to his.
Exactly. Not only that,
to his
not only
followers.
that, it just shows how Islamophobic you are, because you coming back it didn't mean like, hey, Cosmic's back with an intellectual and scrutinizing whatever it may be, different topics he discusses with. He goes straight for Islam.
Absolutely.
And why Islam?
And he got a big backlash from his followers.
Yeah, of course he did.
Even some of them. Look at
Took
this
the video
one.
down.
Stephen Morley, he makes a very good point, which I'll tell you is actually something in the Quran.
Yeah.
This video fails to consider the fundamental point. Yeah. What if Islam was actually right?
Yeah.
If Muhammad was actually Allah's prophet, they would be justified in disregarding other viewpoints, demanding that. Yeah. So the point is, that is a good point, because the thing is, this is not actually a logical argument against Islam.
Yeah.
He's just trying to create a shock factor.
Yes.
Against Islam. But then if we want to create shock factors, he's had Peter Singer, who's one of the leading utilitarians. He's one of the top scholars of utilitarianism. And he mentions, let me actually get exactly what he mentions. He compares basically black people, African people, slaves in the slave trade to animal suffering. And he's got this in his channel, right? He doesn't even challenge it enough, because remember, they don't take the premise of human exceptionalism for granted. The idea that human is special and is differentiated from the animal, the human being is differentiated from the animal. That's obviously, we believe in that.
They believe they came from animals.
We believe in the Quran, لَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ وَحَمَلْنَاهُ فِي الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ. The Quran states that we have exalted the child of Adam. We have exalted human being.
Yeah.
This is human exceptionalism in the Quran. We have a moral human exceptionalism. They don't have it, so they can compare black people, no problem, with animals.
Yeah.
They have track record of doing this kind of thing. Talking about Somalian women, African people, and these kind of things, and that shows the extent to which they have this kind of Western gaze, orientalizing. Looking at these other why don't you compare white people with animals?
Exactly.
Why did it have to be the African example?
The Aryan race, that's why.
And there's another thing as well, which I want to add on this point, which is that Peter Singer, since we're talking about him, right? Listen to what he says. This is something that he writes in his book. It's called Practical Ethics. Yeah. He says this man that he had on his podcast, and he didn't even challenge him on these points. By the way, this is one of the most. Because we're talking about shock factor. He's creating this monster of the Muslim world and the monster of the Islamic.
Yeah,
Khomeini. The Khomeini. the very school of thought, if you like, ethical school of thought, which he sympathizes with. And has people coming on who are scholars of, right? In fact, leading scholars of. This is what Peter Singer says. Listen, he says, the child's life prospects significantly less promising than those of a normal child. And then he says, he has argued that parents of those children, this is not his words, but this is what the person is writing in the article, of those with those conditions should be allowed to end the child's life. And it's in The Guardian. This is not an argument against utilitarianism as being right or wrong. Likewise, mentioning the classical laws of apostasy is not an argument of Islam being right and wrong.
Yeah.
Even if we accept his premise, Muslims and Islam are sensitive.
Yeah.
Does that make them wrong?
Exactly. It doesn't.
Do you see? Hey, now you have to, with your subjective morality, you have to now prove that being sensitive is bad.
Not only that, is he not a hardcore determinist?
Do you see this point? Right, good point. But before
If
this,
that's the case, how can you blame the Muslim community?
we'll come. Great. No, we'll come to this. Very good point.
Yeah.
But this point here was, that's a very good point. But if he hasn't got an objective standard, on what basis can he prove that being sensitive in his words is a bad thing? And if it's not a bad thing, then it's a superfluous.
Exactly.
It's a superfluous argument.
So on a moral basis, he has no legs to stand on.
Absolutely not. So the second thing you mentioned is a very good point, which is that he is not even just a determinist, he's a hard determinist.
Yes.
Hard determinists really don't have a case to make about morality at all, because hard determinists are saying, basically, let's explain this. They are saying that there's an antecedent causal chain of causes before that basically render what's happening with the human being as some kind of ventriloquism, right? We are forced to do what we are doing. Even the thoughts that I have, I am forced to have them. I don't have any free will at all. This is the argument that Sam Harris made, and Daniel Dennett, who's a compatibilist, he refutes him on this actually, right? The point I'm making is that if you are a determinist, you have no claim to morality at all. And not only that, you can't put blame on anyone.
Yes.
Like you've mentioned, right? You just said this. Because if you put blame, on what basis? They're being forced by antecedent causal things. So the video is sloppy. I think he knows because I mean, he says he's a special. He told Sabur Ahmed, you know, he told him he wants to specialize in Islam. And in the video that you refuted in a very good way, by the way, and I suggest everyone goes on your channel and watches the video because it's more detailed than this one. Because he tried putting the video down. I suggest people go on his channel and see what kind of ridiculous comments he made, and Ali Dawah was refuting him. Sabur Ahmed said that he said to Sabur Ahmed that he is a Islamic specialist. He wants to specialize in Islam in the University of Oxford, right? But then, as you mentioned in your video, near the end of the video, he says in the Quran there's some kind of punishment for apostasy in the Quran, right?
Yeah, there is no.
And this shows you haven't even read the Quran.
Yeah.
How can you specialize? You haven't even read it in English.
Exactly.
Yeah, forget about memorizing it.
Yeah.
Forget about memorizing it. We're told off for not memorizing it properly.
Not only that, and he believes, which I refuted, that non-Muslims have to have unconditional love to the Prophet. And we know one example of the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, that when the treaty done with.
Right. Suhail ibn Amr.
Suhail ibn Amr, radiallahu anhu, he came and he said, we don't see you as a prophet of God. And he said to Ali, the Prophet said to Ali, take my name off. Ali didn't even want to take it off.
I think he knows this.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, come on.
What kind of excuse are you giving him?
I'm not giving him an excuse.
You are.
I'm saying that someone who goes to the University of Oxford.
He doesn't know.
Someone who, but maybe it's true, maybe. But I'm sure he has not been taught to this effect. This is not just a shame to him. It's a shame to the institution. It's a shame to the university that he studied in. You cannot shame your university like this by speaking about Islam in such a way that you don't even know. You're mentioning things that are in the Holy Book.
Well, maybe that's why he took the video down.
That are not even in the Holy Book.
Well, maybe that was. I think he's a very clever man. He took the video down and blamed it on security reasons. Because if you think about it,
it's too many fallacies.
Everyone does it. Yeah. If you have two options, you're going to be intellectually dishonest and embarrass yourself, and we know he doesn't like scrutiny. Yeah, because ego gets hurt.
Yeah.
Or you're going to say, you know what? Actually, what does everyone like? One second. What does everyone like?
Yeah.
Death threats. I had to take it down. Oh my gosh. Cosmic's video was good, but he took it down for death threats. That's what the hell he flipping.
And he's a coward because, and this is the last thing. Why, if he loves freedom of speech so much, why is he coming to practically desperately in a desperate scurry trying to get me to take a video down? A small video of him and Sabur Ahmed, where Sabur Ahmed schools him basically, right? Atheist rattled.
Why are you blaming him? He takes his own videos down, and you're blaming him for taking videos down.
Listen, he was threatening me legally. I said, okay, look, what is it? We went through a privacy thing. We went through a whole process. He lost. Sorry, that YouTube ruled against him. My video is still up. It's on 800,000 views almost.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And that's why he wanted it down.
Let's get that to 1 million.
That's it.
Let's get that to 1 million.
Yeah. So if he wants freedom of speech so much, why is he so desperate to have things in his control? Like he was trying to get the debate in his control for so long, or get things taken down which are not in his favor. He's thin-skinned.
That's correct.
And do you know what I think he is doing? He's basically he's projecting, and he has to ask himself. Maybe he can think about himself. Is he projecting? And put this in a question format.
Maybe.
Are you projecting your own insecurities onto the Muslim community?
Maybe.
Are you projecting? Are you scapegoating the Muslim community? Are you trying to create what Edward Said called didactic representation? You know, where you have a good guy and a bad guy, and this is the trope of the Orientalists, and this is the narrative of the right wing. He's unfortunately he's put forward the narrative, the hasty generalization of the right wing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's not been able to substantiate it. And your refutation, I refer people to your refutation for more information.
The link will be at the end, guys.
Yep.
And I think that's it, man. You can very clearly see, and people are bored of this, and we can see right through you. And that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video.
One last thing I want to say to people, and this
please.
is what Allah is the last thing I'll say. Please, guys, there's something in the religion, and even if you don't want to label it formally, it's called bara'. It's where you disassociate, not just with people, not just with ideas, but with people as well. Someone who's so forthright in their, to be honest with you, arrogance against not just Islam but the Muslim community themselves. We have been nice to this guy. Whenever I put a video, and I mention something good about him, the Muslim people in the comment section are very, very, I would say, accommodating to him, making dua for him, supplicating for him, hoping that he understands that his ignorance is alleviated and so on. But now enough is enough. This guy clearly is trying to use our good name and our kindness. He's taking kindness for weakness. And you know what? The thing that stops people like this, because I think I know what's going on here. I want to end with this, really. Just because someone has a cowardly temperament, he's got a cowardly temperament,
passive,
right? He's a passive, cowardly temperament. He's a bit meek.
Passive aggressive.
No, he's meek and cowardly temperament. It's a predisposition. It's a psychological predisposition. Do not confuse a passive and a cowardly temperament with humility and with sincerity. He might have things in him which are sincere and which are fine, but he's not. I'm sorry, he's not a sincere person, because if he wasn't, he would not be using the good name of Islam and the good name of the Muslim community in this country to throw us under the bus so he can get fans to like his videos and so he can so he can raise his rank.
Well, it shows where priorities, and Allah says in the Quran that disbelievers, people like him who have animosity, will never be pleased with you until you follow their way. And that's exactly what's going on here, brothers and sisters. And yeah, that's it.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.